All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in on the first Wednesday Watch Me Talk. This is your host, Lazz. Today's subject is going to be on tips for newbie watch collectors. Stay tuned for this one. So before we jump into tip number one, we're going to do a quick wrist check. This was on the wrist today. This is the Seiko Sharp 773, also known as the Turtle. This is the Blue Dial variant. One of my favorite watches that I own. I just did a review on this watch. If you haven't already checked that video out, it's going to be somewhere in one of these corners here. So you can go ahead and check that video out. All right, tip number one. Under no circumstances should your first watch be an Invicta. Wrong. Tip number one should be you buy what you like. That is the point of collecting watches. It is your collection. It is to your taste and not no one else. Don't let these other YouTubers, reviewers, or watch collectors, watch snobs, whatever you want to call them, don't let them dictate the watches you like because of a brand. If you like what that brand has to offer and you purchase that, well, that's your collection. That's your taste, not anyone else's. Now, as reviewers, it is our job to give you information to allow you to make informative decisions on purchases. So can you buy better watches than Invicta for just a little bit more money? Absolutely. Do I recommend you save that money and maybe look into something like the Orients or the entry-level Seikos? Absolutely. You're going to get much more value for your money. Tip number two. If you're not looking to become a watchmaker, stay away from modding at all costs. Stay away from it. You are going to find yourself ruining pieces that you at one point liked. At some point, I seen a video on YouTube, actually a few times, I'll backtrack here. I seen a couple of videos on YouTube, and I was like, I think I can do that. I think I can do that, and I think I would like the way this watch is going to look if I do that. I ruined 3 total pieces before I said, you know what? Watch modding is not for me. I'm not looking to become a watchmaker. I'm looking to collect watches. I'm looking to, if there's a specific piece or a specific colorway of a watch that I'm looking for, I just buy it now. I stay away from the modding. If you have a watchmaker that mods for you, then hey, by all means, support the cause. Go to that watchmaker and get the watch that you want or get the watch modded to your liking. But as far as you doing it and you have no experience in watchmaking, if you are looking to get into the watchmaking, then I think there's a couple of sites out there where you can buy everything you need to mod your own watch. They send you the case, they send you the movement, they send you the bracelet or the straps, they send you the bezels, they send you everything, the hands. I'm talking from scratch. You can build your own watch. So if that's what you're looking to do, go that route. So yeah, stay away from watch modding if you're not looking to become a watchmaker. Tip number 3. Watches or watch brands that you should be looking into, or that I think is a great start to look into when considering a watch collection. Seiko, Orient, and Timex. Reason why I suggest these brands is because I found myself, after starting with Invicta or starting with off-brand Chinese watches and so on and so forth, I found myself coming back to these 3 watches for 2 reasons. The level of value that you get with these watches is ridiculous, and the price. The price for these watches, like some of these Seikos, you're getting amazing value. For example, the Sharp 773. This particular watch, its retail price is $525. You can pick them up for, I think in my review I said between $280 and $300. It's a little bit more than that. They're about $380 to $400 roughly. And that's what they're going for. Now, I picked this one up at a boutique for about $300. I actually got them the price match Amazon. Anyways, that's on the other review that I did on this particular watch, so you can go back and watch that. But again, the value that this brand offers you is unparalleled to any other brand, in my opinion. Orient, of course, being a sistered company under that Epson umbrella, it's same thing. It's gonna offer you amazing value. I mean, you can get some Orients that are automatic movement with beautiful sundials or sunburst dial. I'm sorry. It's just the craftsmanship that you get with those two companies is ridiculous. And mind you, those automatic watches from Orient, you can get them as low as $70 to $80. That's in that Invicta price range. And then as far as Timex, obviously everyone knows Timex. I mean, you can ask anyone about Timex and they'll be able to tell you, oh yeah, I know that company, I've heard of them. The watch that takes a licking and keep on ticking was their slogan back in the days. Anyways, nonetheless, Timex is another brand to look into. I mean, you can pick up a weekender, if you're looking for something a little bit more dressier, something a little bit more, a little bit more undercover, something that's going to be nice and clean. A weekender is going to be nice. If you're looking for something that's a little bit more active, then you can look into the Expeditions. The Expeditions are probably some of my favorite ones. They have some nice chronographs as well that you can look into. And they're field watches. I actually own a few of them. I've done reviews on the Timex field watches. So those are the three brands I highly recommend you look into as a newbie watch collector. You have Seiko, Orient, and Timex. Those three brands, check them out. All right, tip number 4. And this tip I think is very, very, very important for newbie collectors. A lot of times we watch reviews on watches and we get caught up in and some of these reviews and don't get me wrong by any means, a lot of these reviews I've seen because they're amazing reviews. These YouTubers have an amazing skill to provide you with content on watches and just in general on reviews. But a lot of these watch collectors that you see that do reviews, these higher end or these top tier review channels that review a lot of these watches, you only see them ever really talking about a lot of the higher end pieces, right? The $1,000 price range, $5,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. Do not let those videos make you think that you need that caliber of watches in order to construct your own collection, because that is not the case. I own over 32 watches and none of my watches exceed the $500 price range. In fact, the most expensive watch that I own in my collection is this one, the Seiko SARP 773, the Turtle. So when I bought this, I paid about $300 for this. This is the most expensive watch that I own. And maybe the future holds something different for me in terms of watch collecting, and maybe I'll be fortunate enough later on in life to own, my dream watch, which is a Rolex, like millions of other people, right? But again, I think that is a very important tip for you to remember when you're trying to construct your own watch collection, is to not allow these higher end watches to make you feel that in order for you to have a watch collection, you need an expensive piece in your collection, because that is not the case. A watch, when you put it on, should make you feel good. When you wear a watch, is more of a statement of how you're feeling that day. Sometimes I'm feeling more of the field watchy kind of day. I'm feeling more adventurous. I'll throw on a field watch. Sometimes I want something a little bit more classier, something a little bit more vintage, and then I'll look at something with a leather strap, no crown guards, to kind of give it that vintage vibe, in the 38 to 37 millimeter. Again, that's what a watch collection should be. It should be a statement of who you are. And a lot of the times, the reason for us wearing these is these are conversation starters. I hear Kevin O'Leary say this all the time when he's talking about watches. And it is very, very true. A lot of times I may be at work, I'll have a watch on, and someone will be like, man, nice watch. I've owned a couple of watches from that brand. And believe it or not, it happens. And then that sparks up a conversation, and hey, there you have it. It was a conversation starting piece. That is a point of a collection. You do not need a $40,000, $50,000 watch to be able to say I have a watch collection. So anyone who shames you because you own something like an Invicta or something of that nature, sometimes that person may be better off in life and can afford to have something more expensive. But I feel like that, that in the watch community, that's something that really needs to change. There needs to be a shift in that, because watch collecting should not be what others deem worthy of a watch collection. No, it should be what you like, what you deem worthy of your own, spending your own hard-earned money on. Then a watch collection is what you think is a watch collection, not anyone else. All right, tip number 5, and now I'm gonna leave it at 5. That's gonna be the last tip that I have for newbie watch collectors. And this tip, in my opinion, I think is one of the most important ones to ensure that you don't get bored of a piece. Sometimes something as simple as switching the strap. Yes, that is a simple but very important tip. See that? So this comes on a supplied bracelet that is horrendous. When I first got this watch, I was very disappointed. I was very, very, very disappointed in Orient. I was like, man, this is a terrible, cheap piece, because the bracelet was terrible. Now, I didn't wear it. I went and I bought some straps, and then I threw this on this NATO. I was like, ooh. I mean, just look at that. This is a Orient 3-star. By the way, for newbie watch collectors, great piece to look into. And this might be my next review, if I can get that in focus there. That might be my next review. Yes, I think I'm going to make this my next review. There you have it. So, yes, watch straps is very, very important. I highly recommend for every watch you buy, pick up 3 straps, right? And the reason why this is important is because, a lot of times you can wear one watch for a week straight and make it make it interesting, make it fun, make it feel like you have a different watch every day by switching out the strap. So I highly recommend straps, straps, bracelets, whatever it is that you're into, but make it happen. Get yourself some straps. If you're not familiar with brands to look at, I highly recommend Rich watch band straps. That's all the only straps that I own is Rich watch band straps. Those are my favorite. That's my favorite brand right now. They offer an insane amount of value for the price. I actually have a new strap coming in, one of their new rollouts. They just put this one out about a week ago. It's a canvas strap. I'm dying for it to get here so I can do a review on that. There's not a sponsor with this company. I just highly, highly admire what they're doing here with these straps and how they're able to offer so much value at the price that they do. So there you have it. The difference that straps can do, it's insane. You can take a watch from being something that you got bored of into sparking that love for that watch again and giving it some wrist time, right? If you have a watch that you haven't worn in a long time, put it on a new strap. I guarantee you're going to pick up that watch again and it's going to get some more wrist time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That was my first Wednesday Watch Me Talk session. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, this was your host, Lazz. Don't forget to follow me over on Instagram, WatchLife777. Also, don't forget to smash that like button and hit that subscribe button.